Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, this episode of Get Some is brought to you by Bluechew.com. Listen, discover your options at Bluechew.com. We got a special deal for my listeners. Try Bluechew free when you use promo code GETSOME at checkout. All you gotta do is pay $5 for the shipping. That's Bluechew.com, promo code GETSOME to receive your first month free. Visit Bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank you from Bluechew for sponsoring this podcast. Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. We're going to start off with my schedule. This weekend, I'm in Virginia Beach at the Funny Bone, so I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next weekend, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, and that will be. Let me pull my schedule up on here. Let me get my calendar up. So where are we at here? September? So yeah, it's September 27th, 29th. I'm in Virginia Beach. October 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm in Dayton, Ohio at the Funny Bone. October 7th, I'm in Tacoma, Washington, Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. October 11th and 12th, I'm in San Francisco at Cobb's Comedy Club. October 13th, I'm in Morgantown, West Virginia for the first time ever at the Marriott Water Place. I guess they got a big ballroom theater in there. So first time in Morgantown, West Virginia. And then, that's good. And then October 18th through the 20th, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio at the Funny Bone, formerly the Improv, now it's the Funny Bone. Then we'll close out October 25th, 26th, 27th. I'm in Columbus, Ohio at the Funny Bone, right there in Easton Town Center. Now, last weekend, I was in Richmond, Virginia. Shouts out to everyone that came out in Richmond. We packed it out all week in short pump. So we had a great weekend. So yeah, that was my schedule. I don't really know where to begin with my beloved Cincinnati Bengals. I'm so lost. When our schedule came out, worst case 3-1. Worst case, we're 3 games in, we're 0-3. The best case is 1-3, and we got Andy Dalton. We got to play them on the road. I'm like, I don't even know what to do at this point. I don't know where to begin. I'm diehard. I ain't leaving. I'm on the wagon. Whether there's a band or no band, I'm on the wagon. I can't get off. I've tried numerous times, and I keep hopping back on. Oh my gosh, our defense sucks. It sucks right now. It's so hard to say we just suck outright. We were just really bad against Washington. A rookie quarterback? Nobody saw the Commanders and was like, yeah, that's a powerhouse. But, man, we sucked against – I don't want to say we suck in general. We just sucked against Washington. And we're not – our offense is starting to click. Like, Burrow's on it. I guess that was – the Commanders-Bengals game on Monday night was the first game since 1940. There was no punts, no penalties. And we still lost. We scored 33 points and lost. You scored 33 points, you're supposed to win. And, of course, when you're the quarterback, it all falls on you. But this game was not on Joe Burrow. He was dealing. He was firing all cylinders and throwing dimes, going over the top of Jamar Chase again. T was back. We slowly implemented him back. The running game was working. We were running the ball. We were getting 4 or 5 yards a clip. Chase Brown and Zach Moss was running. I was like, man, this was not on the offense. This was all on the defense. When a team has 6 possessions and they have 5 touchdowns and a field goal, And you had 2 different times they had 4th downs, and they went for it and got it in critical situations. And but anyway, shouts out to First Star Logistics. They let me sit in their suite. They're so generous. They always throw that offer out there. So I appreciate you guys letting me sit there. And just disappointed. I hate watching SportsCenter. I hate watching the Analyst when the Bengals lose. I hate it. And there's one guy in particular. Let me call this brother out, Chris Canty. Chris Canty is a former NFL player turned announcer, and for some reason, he's got an issue with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know if they didn't draft him. I don't know if somebody cheap shot him at some point in his career, but he be going in, and you could tell he don't believe it. Chris, you don't believe what you're saying. Stop. He keeps saying, this is all on Joe Burrow. We keep saying, if you're the quarterback, you 0-3, this is all on you. You don't believe that. Ain't nobody watched that game on Monday night and thought, this is Joe Burrow's fault. Even the Kansas City game, when Joe went out the game, we had the lead. Our defense didn't hold the lead. So it's just like, you don't believe that. You do not believe. Look at all the teams in the NFL. How many teams would want Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback right now? Pittsburgh, you think they want Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback? Cleveland, you think they want Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback? The Raiders, think they want Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback? The Broncos, you think they don't want Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback? Seattle. I can keep going. Dallas. You don't think they want Joe Burrow as starting quarterback? Tampa, Miami, Carolina, Giants, Jets. Jets got Aaron Hernandez. They got Aaron Hernandez. They got Aaron Rodgers. But I think even Jets fans, if you're like, Aaron Rodgers probably got 1 or 2 years left. Burrow's got 10. Who you want? Come on now. Stop. Just stop, Chris Canty. Stop with the hate. Stop with the cap. That's all you're doing. You're looking for clicks. You're looking for that moment. It was funny because he said all that stuff the Tuesday morning after the game, and then ESPN, like everybody on there, Jeff Saturday, Foxworth, Marcus Spears, they all just kind of went, nah, it's when you get everybody to agree it ain't Joe Burrow, stop. That you reaching, and it sounds like you're just in the boardroom, you're in the war room, like, what can I do? What can I say that nobody else is going to say? Oh, this is all Joe Burrow's fault. Completely. It's almost like saying all those Dolphin teams, it was Dan Marino's fault. All those years, they didn't win the Super Bowl or go to a Super Bowl. That was all Dan Marino. Come on now. Like, granted, to be a great, to be an all-time great, you do have to win at least one Super Bowl. One. And I firmly believe Joe Burrow's going to win one. I don't know when, but he's going to win one. I just hope he's still with the Bengals when he does it. But I mean, this year alone, I thought the Bills would take a step back. Nah, Bills are balling. Why? Because of their quarterback. They're winning because of their quarterback. So that's what I'm saying. And you see all the time they'll go on these losing streaks. I remember the Bills went on some losing streaks last year. I remember, the 49ers last year, they were 5-0, and then they lose 2 in a row. The Bengals go there. The Niners lose to the Bengals. They lost 3 in a row going into their bye week, and everybody's like, what the hell happened to the 49ers? And then they come out of their bye week, they took off. Hopefully, Bengals can win this week against the Panthers. And then Baltimore comes to Cincinnati, and we got to be 1-3. We got to be 1-3. We can't be going in that Baltimore game 0-4, because then the season's officially in the tank. And then the goddamn Steelers don't lose. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Why is it every year the schedule lines up for the Steelers, like lines up? Herbert gets hurt. He's not 100%. So they can't run the offense like they want to. There were so many games last year where the Steelers did not have the number one quarterback or the number one quarterback at 100%. Both games against the Bengals, they were playing our backup, Browning. I'm like, for some reason, and I know Pittsburgh, they got a great coach, Tomlin. They got a system. They got good ownership. They take care of their people. Fan base is incredible. But man, every year it lines up where they don't get everybody at 100%. They get the backup or a high ankle sprain on the starter. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But here we are, baby. I'm not jumping off. All you diehard Bengal fans, you better stay with the team. Oh, it just sucks. Sucks, man. That was the first game I've seen them lose in like 4 years. In the Joe Burrow era, that's the first game I've seen them lose so far. I went to some games where I thought they weren't going to win, and they ended up winning. The 49er game last year, I didn't think they were going to win that. There was the Dolphin game a couple years ago. The Dolphins came in undefeated. That's the game Tua got hurt at first. I thought they'll win it, but I wasn't like super confident. They won. Last year, they were 0-2 and the Rams came. I don't know if it was Thursday or Monday night, but we ended up winning that one. I was like, so many games I've been to. Since Burrow got there, the Super Bowl. I did see him lose the Super Bowl. But outside of that, when we went to Buffalo 2 years ago, we weren't favored. Nobody thought we were going to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. We ended up beating them. I was like, so I'm just going to cross my fingers. And Andy, shouts out to you, Andy Dalton. You know I got love for you. We friends. I hope you get a couple touchdowns on the defense, but I hope we win. All right? I don't wish bad things on Andy. But, man, it's hard. It's hard being a diehard Bengals fan, baby. But I'm with you. I'm going to be there when I go to – I worked my schedule around already. October 6th, I'm in Dayton that weekend, but I made sure I was close enough that I could get down to the game on the 6th. October 20th, I'm 1890 20th, I'm in Cleveland. Bengals are in Cleveland. I worked my schedule where I could make these games. November 3rd, they're playing against the Raiders. I'm off, so I'll be in town for that one. I'm there, baby. I already put my dibs in for I call Chantel, who runs Gabrielle and Dwayne's suite in LA. I'll be there for the Charger game. I'm there, baby. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I'm there. So whether we are 0-10 or 0-11, I'm still going to be at those games because I've worked my schedule around it. So, oh, God. Anyways, as bad as my life is, it's not, I'm still doing better than Diddy right now. Look at it like that. So even though the Bengals are losing and I'm a little depressed, my life is still better than Diddy's right now. So, and everyone should think that way. Speaking of Diddy, he's still topic of conversation amongst everybody. So I was in Richmond last week, and I was talking to my guy Fred. And anybody knows Fred Witt, that's Terrence J's dude. That's everybody's dude, really. But he came out to my show, and we were talking, and Fred's been to numerous Diddy parties and things like that. And of course we bring up Diddy. We're just talking about entertainment in general. And he brought up a good point that I didn't think about. He was like, those Diddy parties, and not Diddy parties necessarily at his house, but parties that Diddy threw, especially the private ones, where, everybody's so focused on the dildos and the and the lube, the baby oil, and these videos of different people having sex in his house allegedly. But Fred brought up something because, the Diddy parties, though, it was also a place where you never knew who you was going to run into. So the networking alone is why a lot of people busted their ass to get to a Diddy party, because if you're a singer and whether you've had record contracts or not, you might run into Jay-Z or a Jay-Z exec at Rock Nation. And sometimes you're out of people's brains and then they see you. So there's not a doubt in my mind deals got done at Diddy parties, or maybe not a deal right then, but future work came about because you went to a Diddy party. So let's not lose the fact that a lot of shit got done at Diddy parties because it was a quote unquote industry party. And yeah, there might have been some dirt at the after parties. There might have been some illegal activities going on at the after parties. But the party itself, it was the go-to spot because like Fred said it best, you're sitting there and you're just talking to Don Cheadle like nothing. You're talking to Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. You're just like, and you're not talking about like work, you're just talking about life. Who's your team? Oh, you got a house in Hawaii? Okay. You got a house in Prague. You just never knew who you was gonna see. I'll put it like this. Every time I was at a party that Diddy was at, whether it was his party or not, it was star-studded. There were celebs everywhere. I never was at a party and it was just Diddy and me were the only two celebs there. For some reason, if Diddy was there, other celebs was there. There's some people just like that. Jamie Foxx is like that. If you ever see Jamie Foxx at a party, whether it's a club, a house party, something, trust, you're going to run into some other celebs in different genres also. Dave Chappelle. You ever are in an area with Dave Chappelle, it's rare Dave's the only celebrity in the room. For some reason, people like that attract other celebs and behind the scenes people that can get you work. So let's try to slow down on every picture they post. That if somebody has a picture with Diddy, something went down. I got pictures with Diddy. I'm gonna post one on the podcast right now. I'm gonna post a picture with me and Diddy. This was at the Think Like a Man premiere. So it's just everybody. If you was in this industry long enough and you were in the right circles, you probably have a picture or a video of you and Diddy. He was the guy in the entertainment business. So let's please slow down. I see a picture of Diddy and Barack, and now that's going around. Ooh, is there a Barack sex tape? I doubt it. So let's stop with the so many conspiracy theories. Ooh, there's a picture with Barack. Did he have a sex tape with Barack? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So let's bring down all the allegations. I mean, yeah, Diddy probably did some dirt. Yeah, Diddy's probably going down. But Diddy isn't the end-all, be-all. It's not like everything that went down was because of Diddy, or every room that Diddy was in, it had to be something illegal going on. There had to be some sex trafficking going on. No, I'm sure there were plenty of parties where not a goddamn thing happened. So we got to slow down on that narrative. So that's my 2 cents on the Diddy stuff. And I'm glad I talked to Fred about that, because Fred was telling me, he goes, man, the Diddy parties was just, you didn't know who was going to be there. And I go, yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. So, yeah, and it was cool to catch up with Fred. And then like this weekend, like I said, I'm in Virginia Beach. Kevin Hart's in Norfolk. So I told Fred, I go, who you going to see, bro? You going to see Kev? You going to see your boy Gary? We'll find out. We're going to find out where Fred Witt's loyalty lies this weekend. Or maybe Fred, you go see Kev at his 7 or 8 o'clock show, and you guys come over to Funny Bone and come see your boy at 9 or 10. Because it's another year where Philly's going to play Cincinnati. And every 4 years it happens. And every 4 years, me and Kevin Hart bet. And the bet goes up. So even though we own 3, Kev, I'm putting it out there. What you want to bet, baby? No, I don't want to do that. Because he might want to bet a lot. But I have a cap. It's a good cap. But what you want to do? What you want to do, Kev? It's only, we're like a month away. Bengals and Eagles, you guys are coming to our crib. So come on, baby. What you want? We'll take on Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. We ain't worried about Saquon Barkley. Well, a little bit. Our running game sucks. Our running defense sucks. But all right. Okay. We still got to do it. We're still going to make that bet. All right. So, yeah, Diddy's still in the news. Bengals suck right now, but hopefully we'll win this week. I'll tell you what I've been watching, though. I've been enthralled with this Menendez brother documentary on Netflix. I'm like, I forgot. When all that shit happened, I mean, I was like in high school or junior high or high school when all that happened. And, now that they released this, it's like a 9-episode, I don't know, it's not a documentary, it's a sitcom, like not sitcom, but just a 9-part miniseries on the Menendez trial. And it's so goddamn good. I mean, the acting's good. It for my age group and my demographics, it's just taking me down memory lane, bro. Outside the murders, which was a lot, but the fact the brothers are singing Milli Vanilli in the first episode, and I was like, oh my god, Milli Vanilli was the shit, and then everybody found out they were fake. I was so hurt. I was like, what? Milli Vanilli? Is it really Milli Vanilli, or is it just Vanilli's fake and Millie's real? Or something. I don't know if you guys remember that. That group, Milli Vanilli, was like top of the food chain. The number one group in the world. And then come to find out they were lip syncing all their songs. And they got found out when back then they were doing a concert, one of them MTV concerts, and the music got stuck. So they was like, blame it on the, blame it on the, blame it on the, blame it on the. And you can see they just freeze. And then they tried to dance it off. And then they had to come back. And after that, they was exposed that it was other people singing their songs. I completely forgot about Milli Vanilli. I started looking them up again and started playing their music again because of Monsters, the Menendez Brothers story on Netflix. But then there's an ongoing joke within the miniseries, and I guess Lyle? Hold on, let me see which one. One of the brothers wrote a screenplay, and it was about killing his parents. And hold on, let me find out which one it is. Menendez brother. Eric wrote the screenplay. Yeah. So it was Lyle and Eric. Eric wrote the screenplay, and he called it Friends. And you keep hearing them saying, nobody's ever going to watch a movie or a TV show called Friends. And they keep saying it over and over again. It's like an ongoing joke. As we know, Friends became one of the biggest sitcoms in the history of television. It reminds me of, I don't know if it was it the documentary on O.J. Simpson? Was it a doc or the O.J. Simpson story? I think it was the documentary I saw on O.J. And he said they were getting ready to do this reality show about the Kardashian reality show. And O.J. was like, ain't nobody gonna watch no reality show with the Kardashians. People can't even pronounce the last name. And who knew that was gonna take off like that? Oh, my bad. I'm not sure what's going on. So yeah, my bad. That was unprofessional. But yeah, when OJ said that, I was like, oops. The same thing with Friends. In this business, you never know. You never know. So, but with the Menendez brothers, this is what I took out of it. I don't know what's true and what's not. Like, I'm sure 80% of it's true, but you always got to add a little HGH, a little steroids to make the show better. But what I do know is they would have never got caught if they would just shut the fuck up. It's their own fault. They did kill their parents. Whether there was sexual abuse or not sure. But all I'm saying is, if I did a crime of that magnitude, and I'm like, well, how can I get out of it? Oh, I'm going to say I was abused as a child, and I was sexually abused. Because then you're pulling on people's heartstrings and stuff like that. So whether it's true or not, I can't 100% say. Do I think it happened? Yeah. But I can't say 100%. I know. Nobody can. They killed the parents. But what didn't make them look good is as soon as their dad died and their mom that they shot and killed, they went on a spending spree. They was living life. Now, granted, they were 21 and 18, but just the lack of remorse and the lack of just almost PTSD that they went through. It's like they completely were happier when their parents was dead. But until Eric started having nightmares, then Eric went and talked to a therapist and said, yeah, we did it. after the cops were even looking for him. They would have completely got away with this shit. And he went to his therapist, and then the therapist told the side chick. The therapist was married, had a side chick, tells the side chick, hey, these guys, they're one of them's in my office right now. He said he killed his parents. If anything happens to me, I need you to verify you know who did it and come down to my office and sit in the lobby. So the side chick was on board, was keeping it a secret, and then they broke up. The therapist and the side chick broke up, and the side chick goes to the cops and tells the whole story. The brothers killed their parents. And then they started putting the piece together. And these stupid ass Menendez brothers, as well planned out and as thought out that they did this murder, the fact that they got caught because they couldn't keep their mouth shut is mind-boggling to me. Because if you can keep your mouth shut about leading up to the murder, you're not telling your friends, you're not telling anybody, then you pull it off. You're good. And the brother starts having nightmares. Goes to the therapist. Tells him I did it. The therapist can't tell the cops because it's like a attorney, client, therapist, client, privilege type shit. But he tells the side chick. Side chick tells the cops. They get caught. But the fact that you couldn't keep your mouth shut, and then here's the kicker. They start letting the therapist record their sessions. And I'm going. So now the therapist, once they busted the therapist, they had audio evidence of them saying we did it. And of course they're going to say, no, we were lying about that. We weren't telling the truth about that. And I'm just going, these two, as smart as they was, also stupid. Look, I'll just put it like this. Anybody out there kills somebody, don't tell nobody. Just keep it to yourself. I'm not saying to kill anybody. Keep it to yourself. It's like so many. If you watch the first 48, you watch Red Tree Stories on YouTube, so many people telling themselves and you literally the text will say, we ain't got nothing. If he doesn't confess, I don't know if we can lock him up. We ain't got much. And they manipulate these people to tell on themselves. And I'm just going, when Eric Menendez told the therapist, Lyle went through the roof. And then, keeps getting better. Then, they're in court. I didn't know the first trial was a mistrial. I'm going, okay. Come to find out, all the women felt bad for him. Almost like the mom type deal. Because they painted them as these sexually abused brothers. Even though they have money, the mom didn't stand up for him. The mom let all this physical, mental, sexual abuse happen. And then they couldn't take it anymore. And they painted the picture. They thought their lives were in danger, which I don't think was going to happen. But all the women on the jury was like, no, we can't put them away. We feel like they're our sons. And they were good-looking guys. I'm sure some of the jury chicks had crushes on them. It was the men. It was the men that was like, yeah, they did it. So there was a hung jury in the first trial. Fast forward years later, they get ready to do the second trial. The freaking brother Lyle, now he's got women writing him. He's like a sex symbol. And one woman who was like the first catfish talking to him. This stupid ass, again, if you didn't learn from the therapist, lets their conversations be recorded. And he's saying like, yo, you should see me on the stand. I was crying. There were people in the courtroom crying. The jurors were crying. They might as well let me out now. I'm good. I was like, so then the lawyer's like, yo, he goes, no, I didn't say that. They go, we got the tape. You straight up said it. You just told on yourself. I'm just going, these guys are something special. My thing with something like this, like when you kill your parents, and which is a disconnect, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a relationship with my biological father, my stepfather, my mother, but at no point did I think I want to kill them. And I got I got abused. I don't know sexual abuse, but I got the mental and the physical abuse. I just want to get away. But nobody had any money either. These guys were living large, and they didn't want to give up that lifestyle, but they didn't want to be around their parents. But they needed their parents to maintain their lifestyle. So it was just, it's so good. And I gave you the Cliff Notes version. And the crazy part is, the second trial with them, the reason it never registered what really happened was basically at the same time OJ got busted. So all the media went from, we're done with these kids, we're moving on to OJ Simpson, and then he got all the attention after that, and the fact that OJ got off, they were saying, yo, too many of these celebrity cases, the celebrities getting off. We need a conviction, which didn't help their case anyways. So OJ getting off isn't the reason they got convicted, but it didn't help their case either. And then they got a scene where OJ's in the same prison as them and things. And since this has come out, I just saw that, like, probably 7-8 years ago, they finally got reunited. So they got sent to different prisons in California. Obviously they can't call each other. So they haven't like seen each other, heard each other's voice. And like 7 years ago, they finally brought them back together and they were in the same prison. Can you imagine, as bad of a crime that is, and the punishment fits, they should be in jail. Can you imagine how that had to make them feel? Because right now they're probably institutionalized. Their life in Beverly Hills, as they knew it, was a dream. They're all about the prison life now. And to reunite with a family member, your brother like that they were so tight, I can't imagine. It probably just gave them a second wind in life. So whenever like there's a murder or something like that, I'm always like, are they a threat to society? I'm not under the whole, how some states got the death penalty, some don't. Also with some murders, I feel like is just so heartless. And I do feel like some people are threats to society, but I also feel like under what circumstances were some of these murders under? What was the age? What was their mindset? And I'm like, I don't know. The older I get, maybe I'm a little softer. Maybe if you, I don't know. If you're like 18 years old and you didn't have no father figures, no mother, and the streets raised you, and you killed you're in the drug game, let's say, and you kill another drug dealer for whatever reason, do I feel like that circumstances should be life in prison with no parole? No. I feel like under those circumstances, society has failed that kid. If he had nobody else, no mom, no dad really actively in his life, and the streets raised you, in essence, and the only thing you saw was gangs, drugs, I'm like, that's a kid that needs his brain rewired and needs rehab. And I do believe he should be punished. Don't get it twisted. But do I think that person is just going to be a threat to society his whole life? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think we should just do life without the possibility of parole forever. Now the Menendez brothers, that's where this gets interesting. 18 and 21. Are they a threat to society? Do I think they would get out and kill again? No, I really don't. But within within this miniseries, they do think about killing the therapist because he knows all their secrets. And they're like, well, if we get rid of him, nobody else has their secrets. So maybe they're so young at that time, they got away with 2 murders. They're like, oh, we can keep getting away with this shit. But not thinking like at some point they're going to figure it out. I don't know why. And also, I don't know why lately I've been on these killing shows, these serial killers. I talked about the The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. I mean, I've read about it, but you got to realize when the Menendez Brothers happened, Richard Ramirez happened, there wasn't internet back then. Hey, this episode of Get Some is brought to you by Bluechew. Now, if you know Bluechew wants men rock hard. They told me that's the mission, and they're not going to stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. Ow! Till every tent is pitched. Till every rod is raised. Discover your options at bluechew.com. Got a special deal for our listeners. If you try Bluechew free, let me repeat that. Try Bluechew free when you use the promo code GETSOME at checkout. Just got to pay $5 for shipping. I got 5 on it. That's bluechew.com, promo code GETSOME to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Bluechew for sponsoring the podcast. Sorry, I got excited just thinking about Bluechew. That's my favorite line of this whole promo. Bricked up like a brick house. In the history of man, that's always a good thing. You're going off the news and it'll pop up for a couple minutes on the evening news and then it's gone. And then you might see an article in the paper and then it's gone. Charles Manson, that's way before my time, but still. Now, murders happen. Somebody does some crime like this. It's all over everywhere. Like Scott Peterson. I mean, what I've noticed though, with the Menendez brothers, now they're trying to get a new trial. Scott Peterson trying to get a new trial. It's like you can put doubt into just about anything anymore, no matter what. So I don't know. I'm anxious. I'm interested to hear everybody's comments that have watched this. And now they're coming out with a documentary on Netflix about the Menendez brothers also. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts. One thing I could have did without, it was very gay. Very gay. I was like, there was so many, like, a little much. They got one scene where Eric's in the shower and the prison shower, and this black dude kind of like became his friend. And they kind of insinuate something might have happened between them, but they never really show it. And then there's a scene in the shower where he's just sitting there, and then the black guy's looking at him, and they just turn around and they make sure they show his cock, and then he's just sitting there, and the black guy's like showing his, but they don't really show the black guy's cock. They just show the actor playing Eric Menendez's cock, and then they're just sitting there soaping it up, and I'm going, what was that? We didn't need the full frontal on that. We really didn't. It's like some of the frontal scenes I see in movies, I'm like, what was going on with the director right there? No, this is art. I don't know. I had a nude scene once in a movie called College, and they never showed my front, even though when we shot it, my front was out. But when the movie came out, they just showed my butt, but they didn't show the front. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of people right now like, what's that movie called? It's called College. Still go watch it. I still get residual checks from it. So still go watch it. So enough about the Menendez brothers. Go watch it. 9-part series on Netflix. So I did a podcast this week called Boss Talk. So they're based out of Dallas. There's a husband and wife. It was good. But they asked me what I got coming up. So as you know, I did 2 specials the end of last year in San Jose. One's going to be called Broken Family, and my other special is going to be called Gary Owen No S. And we've only been shopping Broken Family. And basically, long story short, everybody passed on it. Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, the big 3. But YouTube is gung-ho about it. So we're going to release it on YouTube end of October. I'll have an exact date, a week or 2. There's a possibility we might wait till November. for various reasons, but it's looking like the end of October it's going to come out. And as disappointed as I was that, especially Netflix passed, I just got to keep it moving, you know, and then hopefully we'll do good numbers on YouTube. But it's just I don't know what it is. Like, Netflix didn't say no, but they said, like, we want to do it because this special is, I don't want to say divorce heavy. It's just like, I talk about like the betrayal in my divorce, not from my ex. I'm talking about from my dad and friends and things like that. I'm just diving into me avoiding the process server, things of that nature, and just things I was going through at the time. And what was frustrating is, like, Netflix had said, we don't want to introduce him to the Netflix family with a bunch of divorce material. We want other material. I'm like, I'm cool with that. So I thought we were going the route. They were going to do a special with me, a new special with all new material. And here's my thing, how my process works with stand-up. As soon as you give me a date, I can lock in and I'll have a bomb-ass hour on that date. So if you say, all right, Gear, we're going to film your special March 5th, 2025. All right, I'm going to take these next 6 months and I'm going to give you a good-ass hour. I'm going to really focus on my timing, moving my jokes around, everything. All I need is a date and I can lock in. What Netflix had said to my agent manager was, we want Gary to come out to LA and basically showcase the hour he's going to do, and then we want him to send us the material he wants to do in the special. And we were just like, we're not doing that anymore. I got like freaking 14 specials out there. I got four or five on BET back in the day. I got 4 or 5 on Showtime. I got a couple that were nowhere. They're on the YouTube right now, but they're out there. I did 2 when we used to sell DVDs on the road. I did 2 that never sold because I didn't have anywhere to sell them back then. I just did them. And it was funny because I got 2 specials that didn't really go anywhere, but I got TV deals out of it because people are like, what's this Gary Owen about? We sent them that hour, and I got a couple TV deals out of it. But this was 20 some years ago, before people was doing stuff on the internet. But that's neither here nor there. But I just said, go watch my specials. You know what my brand is. You know what I'm about. And tell me what you want me to talk about, what you don't want me to talk about, and I can work around it. But what I'm not going to do is go out to LA again, showcase like I've done in the past. It's so hard to submit your team. You trust me, you don't. And so it's frustrating. I'm not going to do the Monique thing. They're not giving white male specials. But it just is what it is. So to the regime at Netflix, I can't wait till you guys move on to a different network. So we can get some new blood in there. So hopefully the new blood will be like, yeah, we'll go with Gary Owen. So I don't know. It's catch-22. You don't want to badmouth anybody. I think most comics think they deserve a special. I'm gonna stand on my 2 feet and say, yeah, my material and my delivery and the production value holds up with just about every other special you've had on Netflix. I think I have the respect of other comedians within the industry that they know I'm not a hack. They know I'm going to deliver. If you put me on a show, I'm going to deliver. So it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. I ain't going to lie. But you just keep it moving, man. And I'm low-key excited about putting my material out there on YouTube, because then I'll completely own it. And I completely can put the clips out there, monetize them. My special, we'll see if we're in the right algorithms and people gravitate to it. But yeah, Broken Family is going to be out. I'm going to keep pumping it every week on my podcast. I got a new podcast coming out with Nate Jackson in October. So I'm excited about that. I always say, comics, man, we're stronger when we can work together on things. So I'm pumped about that. So yeah, got a lot of things coming up. So I'll keep you guys in the loop. Yeah, to Netflix. I'm still here. Whenever you guys are ready, I'm still here. I think it was this one. This one I heard a little more just because I thought I had the right team and right people bringing it in. Like, All Things Comedy was behind it, which is Bill Burr's company. So, Bill was signing off on it. Like, yeah, I want to do this special with Gary for Netflix. And the fact that they still was like, yeah, but we want the material, we want the showcase. I'm going, just give me the date, give me the show, and I'm going to deliver for you. And at that point, if we want to work something like lean this way with this, talk about your Twins, talk about the election, whatever. I can work with you on that, but I'm not going to just keep running in circles like I've been doing. Like, okay, I'm going to fly out and showcase just to get told, yeah, his audience isn't our audience. Again, and some of my material never comes across on paper. Ever. Every time I got a joke and you got to type it out and send it to a network or a studio, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't compute at all. Whatever you see in writing, it's all about the delivery. It's all about timing. Comedians know. We all know. So, is what is. So I got a special coming out on YouTube. All right. Don't forget, this weekend I'm in Virginia Beach. Next weekend I'm in Dayton, Ohio. And then October 11th and 12th, I'm in San Francisco. And October 13th, for the first time ever, Morgantown, West Virginia. All right, y'all. This is Gary on the Get Something Podcast.